Welcome to
Season 1,
episode 17?
17.
Every time I have to say the number, I have no idea if I'm right or not. We should really plan that out.
Yeah, we should. And we've somewhat arbitrarily decided that we will have 24 episodes in a season.
And when he says we, he means him, because I had no idea.
Right? Is it even really, do we need to have seasons? I don't know. But we might change our focus. We don't know.
Yeah, next season we were actually discussing about how it's going to be different.
Yep.
As opposed to news that is dropped during the week, we're going to change it up a little bit. And
Yeah.
then maybe season 3 will be something more different than that.
Right.
I
And
know.
that way, we're looking to build evergreen content. That's the phrase that's used. That's bandied about.
Why is that the phrase?
Because it keeps, giving. Forever and ever.
Ever giving or evergreen?
Evergreen.
See, I still don't get it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's what people say. It is snowing. Oh, like the sky just opened up and it is like, I don't want to say a blizzard because it's not swirling.
Oh, no, it's not a blizzard at all.
But it is damn pretty. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I would prefer pretty snow in like December or January.
Like the night before Christmas. This is what we should be seeing.
Yes. It's funny. So we've mentioned before that I grew up in Nova Scotia and for 6 years, I guess. So the 6 years I was there, I think there was only one winter that we had a white Christmas. But we would always have a white New Year's.
Huh.
And we got a lot of snow back in the day. Apparently, Nova Scotia hasn't weather changing and stuff. There was a long time after we moved that they didn't get a lot of snow at all, but we would usually have a green Christmas and a white New Year's. Huh. So, and now we here in Calgary are having a white October 12th.
Right?
And the snow was almost melted from that giant snowstorm last week. Yeah, Calgary.
Yay.
Not cool. So, what are we talking about this week? What is dropped in the news?
Well, so somebody, I just heard this at the theater last night. So, I don't know whether it's news or not. But some climate change people are saying that we are now, for real this time, fucked. That if things do not change drastically in the next 5 years, the planet is basically dead by 2030 or something.
2030?
I don't know. It's like, and I'm just making these numbers up somewhat. Because
that's what we do.
Well, and I heard it in a theater, but there's a lot of panic.
I have seen some articles, which I didn't read, because sometimes there are articles that I just really don't want to read. Like this one in particular. But I did see something about we're screwed.
Yeah.
We're royally screwed.
Yeah.
Is it because the ice caps are melting, the hurricanes are getting bigger and bigger, and we're just all going to get wiped off the planet?
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say.
Ugh.
Yeah, anyway, so we'll figured I'd start that off all cheery and happy. Hurricane Michael just traipsed through the Florida Panhandle.
Yep. And you didn't hear much about it, honestly. It was like, another hurricane coming in. Michael, ha.
And so there was some news that it was actually shocking. Nobody expected it to be as strong and powerful as it was.
Yeah, apparently it's one of the biggest ones ever.
To hit that area.
Yep, to hit that area. 13, as of yesterday, I think 13 people had died. Oh, no. Including a small child, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't plan on leaving. So there were a lot of people in the hurricane's wake because they were told, or they were under the impression that it actually wasn't massive, but it must have picked up because
it's something like 160 miles per hour sustained winds.
Oh, I think it was 195.
Oh, really?
But I could be wrong again.
We should make up numbers.
Shit out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Math. Numbers.
Yeah, Michael was supposed to be just a tropical storm, and then it turned into a Category 4 hurricane. Yeah. And then I thought
cut right through Florida.
Yeah, I thought that they had through the Panhandle, upper Florida. Yeah,
I think it went through and then it looped around and then went up and hit a bit of the U.S. before heading back out to sea. And apparently it's going to Ireland now.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know they got hurricanes in Ireland.
They do. I think one of the hurricanes last year hit Ireland as well. It's sort of like, if hurricanes hit Nova Scotia, like the sea is rocky, it's very windy, but I don't know if it's a hurricane. But just because it's, yeah.
They fly planes in hurricanes.
Yeah, because they're dumb.
The hurricane hunter, like this one plane actually sat in the hurricane the entire time, measuring the pressure and the wind speed and the stuff like that.
Maybe it's because he couldn't actually get out. He was just stuck, and he was just going around and around and around. He's like, I might as well just take advantage of the situation.
I'm fucked. Oh, look, Ireland.
Yeah. I read an article, actually, at nationalgeographic.com or National Geographic website that said the biggest hurricanes, they actually call them all, in the science world, they call them all basically cyclones. But the biggest ones are in the Pacific, because the Pacific Ocean is so big that it has lots of time to grow and to gain energy and speed. The Atlantic Ocean has big hurricanes, which are also cyclones. It just depends on where in the world these take place. Yeah. But the ocean isn't as big. The Indian Ocean has smaller ones, but they can still be very devastating because there's a huge population in Asia there. But because the Indian Ocean is so small before it hits land, that they tend to be a little bit smaller. So
crazy.
Yeah. Science.
It does make me rethink my desire to live on the ocean, though.
Yeah. Well, where we originally talked about living on the west coast of Canada is also in the tsunami area. So maybe not there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got the tsunami signs, which I just loved, because it's like this big curling wave with like this little person running away from it. That's your tsunami route.
Well, they had that tsunami in Indonesia in the last couple weeks.
Right. And holy crap.
The video is sort of like when we were watching Japan get hit by that tsunami a couple years ago. 2,000 people are dead, I think, now. I posted a picture on my Facebook of a giant like touring boat that is wedged between two small houses. Yeah. That's how bad it was. Well, and
400 miles per hour was when the waves hit the shore.
And I think maximum was like 7 meters high or something like that. Like, awful, just awful.
And I think the news had said it was that so it happened after the warning was like no longer a thing. They're like tsunami warning, and
it's
then,
over.
Then it's over, and then suddenly smoke.
Yeah, awful. And I also heard that Mount Etna, I think, is falling into the ocean.
What?
Yeah, it's slowly falling, and they said that once that is gone, there's going to be a tsunami of epic proportions, just going out to sea. And
fucking hell.
Maybe that's why we only have 5 years.
Crazy.
Because the whole world is going to shit.
I've got a rubber raft.
No wonder Canadians have decided to start smoking legal pot in like 5 days.
Right? How exciting is that?
Just to deal with the garbage world out there right now, I think.
Yeah, 5 days.
Yeah, October 17th.
The countdown is on.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like crazy. So I guess this means you don't have to carry around your municipal card? How does that work? I don't even know.
Well, yeah, I think like traveling within Canada. So, we talked before, I've got my medicinal marijuana license, my green card, whatever. And I thought, because I travel for business quite a bit, but I don't really use the THC or CBD during the day. But I could bring it with me, presumably. But it feels weird for me going on a flight with marijuana.
See, and I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would not even try. America had said last week or the week before that under no circumstances can anyone who works in the pot industry go to the States.
Right.
They could get arrested. They could get kicked out to be barred for life.
Right.
Now they say that...
yeah, you can go.
You can go, but it has to be under personal reasons, which... Sure, because, pot isn't legal in the entire United States. Right. So unless you're going to... Is it Washington or Colorado?
Well, it's not even the thing, though, because it's not federally legal.
Yeah.
Some states have legalized it, but it's still illegal. It's a weird gray area.
I have no idea how that works. Yeah. That's so weird.
But yeah, so it's legal in Canada come October 17th.
You won't be able to find pot stores that sell it anywhere, apparently.
What?
Well,
They're
will
all,
be able
like,
to.
Kensington has got a glut of them.
So, I think it was 660 News said that in Alberta, or Canada. I mean, Alberta, we have a lot more liquor stores than anything. It's like there's one on every couple blocks, right? So you're never what is it in the bigger cities? The maximum distance between you and a liquor store is 1 kilometer,
right? Which
actually isn't very far. Yeah. Obviously, in rural areas, it's more. In Ontario, it's more because it's not privatized like in Alberta. But they say on average, to find a pot dispensary is going to be like 10 kilometers plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Kensington.
Unless you live in Kensington or 17th Avenue in Calgary. Yeah. But they're saying that it's they've legalized it, but really you can't find them anywhere. You can't smoke it anywhere because there's not going to be any pot shops where you can sit and smoke like hookah shops. Yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is a weird thing because you can't walk down the street like you're smoking a cigarette. No. Although what's funny is, man, every time I go out for a walk through Kensington, it's really all you smell is weed. Like people just walk around smoking it anyways. Yeah. It's like it.
Great, the cops are going to be here for the next 5 days just because of you.
Be like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. It's exciting times. I like to see, progress and change. And, I think, because I mean, really, marijuana has been somewhat decriminalized for the last couple of years.
Yeah, slightly.
If you have like a big, bundle of pot, then you're going to be in trouble. Yeah. If you
get pulled over and you have one in your pot, like a joint in your pocket, they just wave their finger at you and you leave. I don't even like the smell of marijuana. I can't stand it. So
it's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like
I just don't like it. It's funny because I used to live with somebody who smoked quite a bit, and it was really hard for me because I don't smoke. So it just...
Well, I used to come over and see you in the whole place. The house just always reeked of it, which is tough because you go out and you smell it. Like it's stuck to your clothes. Yeah. And so suddenly you're branded with the...
It's not me, I swear. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Because I mean, like, so smoking cigarettes is terrible for you. Yeah. So there's very few people who you see smoking now. And then people are like, where do I put my butt? So there's little butt things everywhere. But, like you can see some people are out smoking but kind of feel ashamed because you're not allowed to smoke within like a certain number of, 5 meters outside of a doorway for a business and that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are complaining because people are just going to be smoking pot willy-nilly now. But I can't see people... like my age even who don't smoke pot to just take it up because it's legal now, because there's a point where you're just like
yeah, well, even myself who has the license, who's done it in the past, I'm like I was in Vancouver a while back, not a while back, like within the last year, and we went into a head shop, right? So in the bottom they've got like all the bongs and the stuff, and upstairs is a bar, and you can basically get a water bong. They don't serve alcohol. It's just weed. You go into this sort of little confectionery area. You pick the weed that you want to smoke. You bring it back to the bar. You've got this little water bongs. You hang out and...
So weird, though, because it wasn't legal.
Yeah, I know. But it's, gray. And then they've got these big couches. They've got TVs with, like, video games. Yeah. It's like, and I was talking with... one of the owners there, and I'm just like, so this is awesome. Yeah. First off, it's a really comfy place and nice. I'm just like, do you guys get fights here, like bar fights? And he just looked at me, he's like, no.
Whatever, old man, idiot.
Well, but I mean, like it's a huge cultural difference than drinking culture.
Oh, for sure. Right. So they were also saying on 660 News, because I listened to that on my way to work. That a lot of baby boomers are going to be sparking up because, they used to smoke it in the 60s because, free love and drugs and whatever. And they're like, just make sure that you know how it's going to react with the other medication you're taking. You might have a big influx of like baby boomers in the hospital because the pot they smoked didn't mix with their metoprolol.
Right.
Their beta blockers.
Or my moxifloppin.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And there's obviously the weed from the 60s is not at all like the weed we've got now.
No. And so my younger sister and her boyfriend went to Europe. They did like a 6-month or an 8-month stint backpacking around Europe, and they were in Amsterdam. And they bumped into some other Canadians from Vancouver. And they had talked about maybe going into a pot shop to just see, what it's all about. And because they're everywhere in Amsterdam. And this couple from BC, and I mean, I could be getting the story slightly wrong, but this is how I remember Heather telling me. Yeah. They said, yeah, man, we went into a pot shop because we're like, shh, we're from Vancouver. Like, we're going to be fine. It's great. Apparently, they lost 2 days.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
they ended up finding themselves walking down a street, and they have no idea how they got there because they smoked that much. I'm assuming by accident because they were like, we smoked BC pot, no problem. But apparently the pot in Amsterdam is like, or they picked the wrong strain.
Oh my God.
So there's that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that is one of the things I love about this whole legalization side of it and the medical side of it is you could go shopping for it online and it tells you how potent it is. Whether it's like a indica or a sativa, which, is like either a body stone or a head stone. Oh, okay. And then, the level of THC, which is the psychoactive ingredient, versus the CBD, which is more of the anti-inflammatory, health side of it. Oh, okay. So you can actually go and pick the thing that's best for you. Like, right. I don't like the big, super stoned in the head feeling. I hate it. I don't like that. Yeah. But like that nice sort of mellow feeling, especially when you've got as many broken bones as I've had and soft tissue injuries and stuff.
Speaking of which, how's your foot?
Oh my God. It's okay. It's getting better slowly.
So do you think you broke it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a stress fracture from those shoes.
Yeah, those are terrible. I had one a few years ago and oh my God, it was awful.
Yeah.
Did your foot swell?
The top of it did. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I don't forget the bones, the tarsals in there, not the long bones, but the ones sort of in the ankle area. Yeah. Anyway, so that's been fun.
He's been hobbling around with a cane for the last 2 weeks, probably
I don't
10
think it was
days.
that much. Yeah.
Well, it's been a while.
I think it was because when we were moving, I packed my good shoes, and I've been wearing like these old shoes, which gave my feet problems like last year, and I packed those away, but they're easier to put on and off, so I've been going up and down the block, with these shitty shoes for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. And it finally did me in.
Yeah, not so good. So it's snowing quite a bit. The snowflakes have gone from being giant to those little tiny obnoxious ones. It's not as pretty anymore.
So it is a winter wonderland.
Yeah.
I'm heading off to I'm going to work the concession for Loose Moose Theater, the kids show. It's the last weekend for Ugly Duckling.
And I have my last night of Women Playing Hamlet tonight.
Yeah, which I'm finally going to get to go see.
It's been difficult not being able to really talk about the play. Not that, I mean, he's helped me with lines, but he knows.
I know some stuff.
He knows some stuff, but he doesn't know the whole thing.
Yeah, I've never seen it put together, and I'm super excited for it because the reviews have been ridiculous. Like, right? You've got I think the favorite reviews so far is both your parents have seen it separately. Yeah. And both your parents had no idea which role you were in. Yes. Because you play, 4 different characters?
4.5.
4.5 characters.
Yeah.
And there was, I think one of the shows you said your dad was like, when is Jen going to come on?
Yeah, during intermission, he's like, well, she's listed as actress number 3. Like, when is she coming on? And my sisters were like, oh my God. And then my mother didn't know I was one particular character until halfway through their monologue in the second act, which was great. I had another gentleman, the husband of one of the actresses in the show, when I came out on one character, he was like, well, which one's that one? I couldn't tell.
Oh my God.
And then we had a talk back on Tuesday, and Carl Bishop, the moderator for this talk back, looked at one actress and said, so you play Gilda, right? And she's like, no. And he's like, well, who plays Gilda? And I put up my hand, and he was like,
what?
So it just goes to show you how good the costuming is too, and the costuming is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Because, we play male and female characters in flashbacks. Yeah. And so obviously flashbacks aren't always quite as real as you remember them, right? Yeah, right. So they're all a little off and crazy. So.
Yeah, brilliantly written script. And yeah.
Yay!
So yeah, I'm super excited to go see it. I can't wait.
We're going to see. We're taking my nephews tomorrow to see the last Ugly Duckling. Ugly Duckling.
Yeah, and then I'm working with Barry Piercy. He's the director of the next kids show, which is Rumpelstiltskin, and I'm his assistant director. And Newton wants to go play in the snow.
Yeah, Newton has been scratching at the back door with his little feet for hours now. I don't think he wants to go out.
I don't know. I'll let him out before I go. But yeah, so Rumpelstiltskin is going to be it's going to be so much fun.
Yay!
Loose Moose kids shows are a blast.
They're lovely. My favorite was still Space Cinderella.
Oh my god. Yeah, Cinderella 2000, who Rob Stefaniak directed that one.
No way.
Yeah, and he listens to our podcast.
Too bad Rob is in France.
Right. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, Rob and his whole family are in France, and they've been traipsing around Europe.
Yeah, his photos are fantastic.
Yeah,
Screw that guy. Whatever. Don't even care. Not that we haven't been anywhere, I suppose.
Yeah, but we miss you, Rob.
We had a whole list of things that we could talk about, but they're not very happy.
No, well, and that's the thing, and maybe this is the transitional part. You know, where we come out of, you know what? Fuck the news. We're not good at it.
Fuck it hard.
we're not good at, you know, reporting or journalism.
Maybe it'll get better once the marijuana is legalized.
Oh, yeah, but you don't. Yeah,
I know I don't.
You don't smoke. So.
No.
Or maybe like edibles. We'll like eat some pot cookies and do a podcast.
Yeah.
Seems like a recipe for disaster for tech, though, because it does take a while to set up our microphones. And
it's true. We should set them up. You can do your legal marijuana, and I'll stick with my beer. Although today we're having coffee.
Oh, yeah, we are having. Yeah, no beer. There is beer in the fridge. There's a Rebellion beer that I got from this other podcast I do called the Rebel Podcast. One of the guests on there, Ryan Haneka, brought back special from Saskatchewan Rebellion beer. And I think on it says it's a hops monster.
Yeah, not my thing.
Oh, man, it is hot. It's like punch you in the face.
Now, I haven't tried it because you said that it's a hop punchy in the face beer, and I'm not a fan of hops. We did feed it to one of our guests for Thanksgiving Monday.
Yeah.
Our friend Michael Armstrong. He seemed to quite like it.
Yeah. He did only have the one, though.
He did only have the one because he was taken by the fact that we also had rye and ginger and Manhattans.
Yeah.
So
it was a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it wasn't really it wasn't really planned.
I'm sensing a theme with us.
We just we do what we want.
Yeah, that's right.
So Thanksgiving Sunday we were busy. Michael had his comedy show. I had my matinee. So we didn't do much Thanksgiving Sunday, but the day off we had for Monday, Canadian Thanksgiving, we ended up having a friend over, and then we had some other friends over that were going to stick around for a little bit, and then we were like, fuck, just stayed. So they did. It was good.
Yeah, we had chicken, done up like turkey, and we had stuffing.
Yep. We, in this tiny, our new house has a very tiny kitchen. All the stuff is fairly new in it, but it's quite small. So the two of us, I think we handled it okay.
Yeah, I think
the Manhattans helped.
Certainly.
Get the fuck out of my way, Dropbear.
Sorry. And I made deviled eggs.
Yeah, those are
like
good.
A specialty of mine.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of plain eggs. You have to dress them up for me.
Yeah, totally.
Because they don't really taste like eggs.
I need like one of those. I was going to say a bunting bag, but I think that's what you put kids in. But I need one of those.
You put kids in bags? What?
Like a bunting bag, like this. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is I need one of those piping bags, like that you put the egg stuff in.
You can make your own.
Like, yeah, I know.
Just make your own. Just get some like wax paper and cut a hole. Hello.
Oh, whatever. Not even. I want the fancy tips though.
Just the tip?
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
I've got my last, not my last show, but I'm doing a stand-up set tomorrow or Sunday. Depends when you listen to this. Yeah, and I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to try and perfect the one story I've been working on, or if I'm going to do something completely different.
Well, what did Dale Ward tell you to do?
Dale Ward, who runs Handcuff Comedy, tell me to practice and work on the fucking story.
Mm-hmm. Now, Michael being a contrary person, he'll either throw that out the window.
Yeah. Or I'll own it. I think I'm going to own it. I think the story's worth...
The story is great.
Yeah. I think it's worth perfecting a 5-minute version of it.
Yeah.
Because the last one, and I'm so sorry, I went like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, but you wasted like a minute and a half just being like, how's everyone Thanksgiving?
I know.
Thanks for coming out.
Terrible at that, at like warming an audience up. I'm really just warming myself up because the audience was warm. I just need to get to the point where I get up there and I'm just like, so I'm walking down the beach.
Don't talk like that, though.
No, I won't.
Or do it. People will throw stuff at you.
Oh. It'd be like a roadhouse.
I will probably not be able to go to the stand-up show, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Because my father is in town, and we're taking my nephews to the Loose Moose Kids Show, and then we have been invited over for dinner, because I've only seen my father in like the 10 minutes after my play, and this Sunday. So, and then he's going to be heading back to Ontario.
Nice. Nice that he was able to come out and catch the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then I think this could be a miss. I mean, you've already seen this story and the evolutions of it.
Yeah, but I like being supportive.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks. But I think what I'm going to do, this will be, I like the Handcuff stage to try stuff out because it's...
Yeah, it's like your practice area.
Yeah, it's good. And a lot of comics go there to like work on their bits and stuff. And so you do see the same
work
stuff
on their bits.
over and over again. So I think the next step... I perfect the octopus story.
Oh, it's so fun.
Is I'm going to take it to Jupiter.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take it to Comedy Monday Night and then to Vern's. So I'm going to basically do a couple different places. Because as a rookie, I can get a spot. Because I haven't performed in those places yet.
Yeah. The nice thing about your octopus story, too, is you have an option to have 2 different endings, too.
Totally.
Because you've got the one ending that you did the first night you ever performed, and which was a great ending.
I think I'm going to stick with that one.
It was great. You were just very, very nervous, which is totally understandable. But you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
And then the one you did last week, I also think is pretty cute.
Yeah.
But it went on too long.
Totally.
So yeah. And I don't want to give it away, but it's kind of nice that you have some options.
Totally. Well,
with the story,
I think I can
and the story's true. So
yeah, mostly true.
Mostly true.
And a little offensive.
Oh, it's great. A little, okay, so compared to the other comics I've seen, you are not even on the offensive radar, so I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, how are you going to save the world this week?
I'm going to fucking do my last show. Yeah. We're going to own it. The whole cast is incredible.
Yeah. I met them last night. They're great.
Yeah, they're lovely. Lovely women. And I don't want to sound all stereotypical, but we did make the comment that, a cast with entirely women, including the stage manager and the lighting woman up in the booth and the assistant stage manager and the director, could have gone a different way, but everyone is so supportive of each other and we all get along so well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm usually sad after a show ends because you're just like, oh my gosh, so when you're in the show and you're doing it night after night after night and matinees and evenings, you're exhausted and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. But you still do it, but you also love it. When it's done, you're like, I can't believe I complained about how tired I was because I miss everybody and I miss the show, and it's just...
It's fun watching you go through your process from...
You've seen it a lot.
From auditioning to landing a role to practicing the role to rehearsing to the show. You have very set cycle, And
every time I'm like, this isn't the cycle. I'm actually stressed out. Feel my pain. And Mike's like, whatever. I've seen this 8 other times over the last couple years.
Yeah.
But we're going to own it. And then we have to strike the set. We have to clean out the theater for the next show that comes in. They're moving in.
A Few Good Men.
Few Good Men with Simply Theater, which I'm very pumped about. Yeah. It's funny. We're going from a cast entirely of women playing Hamlet, to A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Huh. I know that Jim Noonan, is he directing that one?
Yes.
Man, I'm kind of kicking myself for not auditioning for it because
I'm pretty sure I told you to.
Yeah, you did, but I didn't. I just didn't have time. There's no way I could have
there's no time. No.
Yeah, and some great people are in it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well. And Jillian, the one lone female. Not sure whether she loves that or hates it, but, we'll find out. Yeah. It's good. It's going to be a great show. How are you going to save the world?
I think I'm going to save the world by, nailing my octopus story.
Story, ladies and gentlemen, not just nailing my octopus. This is why I'm not a comedian.
Yeah. No, I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to double down and focus on getting that story perfect, and so then I can take it on the road to these other clubs, and then I can go and start working on my next one at because I've got stories for days.
Oh my gosh, your life has been insane.
Yeah,
and you have 2 male children, which is just
a
whole bunch of other stories on its own.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how I'm going to save the world. I'm going to get good at the octopus story, bring some levity to the world, as well as warn people. Not warn people, but help people understand octopi better, because they are aliens.
They're amazing.
So that's how we're going to save the world. I'm Dropbear.
I'm Panda.
And thanks for listening to episode
17.
That's right. Until next time.
We're going to save the world again. Stop.
Yeah. It's Dropbear and Panda, yeah. It's Dropbear and Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you, Panda. Coming at you like a locomotive on a motherfucking bender. Yeah, that's my culture, now my job, follow me. Yeah, with Michael Doggies, yeah, you be checking on the flow, yeah. Checking flow, she was quick, you can't pick my medical ranges, angles, tangles. You get tangled, twisted side of flexes. Child should be, can't compete with the owls that devour. Yeah, with the owls that devour, yeah. Yeah, it's a Dropbear and Panda, coming at you right now. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you right now. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you right now. It's like a locomotive blowing out to my normal chopper. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you right now. It's like a locomotive blowing out to my normal chopper.
Dropbear and Panda.